so
good.
So you gotta dilute the cold brew.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You gotta.
I get it from the Aldi, and it's really strong. But I just drink it straight.
But
I think I'm not
That
sure
was
if it's
good.
pre-diluted or what.
That was
I don't
good.
think that theirs is strong.
I just hammer
what
it.
I make.
Yeah.
If you make cold brew at home, you can't drink it on
You
its own.
cannot
It's
drink it
disgusting.
straight. It is, and
Yeah.
you just put like basically a third of the cup
I make it.
of coffee
Love it.
and then 2/3 water.
Yeah.
That's it.
Really?
And that's how they do it. Like
Yeah.
if you go to like Starbucks, that's what they're doing.
If
Like,
you go to Amity, same thing they do.
same deal. They
Yeah.
make it with a concentrate.
No kidding.
So you make a big concentrate, it'll last you all week for sure. You know what
The
I
only
mean?
problem is it
Eh.
doesn't last long.
Well, it depends on how often
You mean
eat
like
a
a-
cup of Joe.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not
You
big
know,
on coffee, but I
if
do
you're,
like a cold brew. Yeah, straight in the vein. Oh god.
You mean like it turns?
Yeah, like
Or
it'll go bad like
It
quick.
goes
Like
bad.
I don't know if it like I don't know the flavor gets off but like if someone like Sam, like if he's gonna drink it every day.
I try to.
Yeah, my thing with cold brews, I kind of like coffee, but I kind of don't.
Well, what's the roasters that's around here? Is it
Finger Lakes Roasters.
Oh
or
my
there's
god,
Cuca Roasters too.
dude, it's the one that makes the Jamaican me crazy.
That's Cuca, isn't it?
It's
Finger Lakes.
Oh, it's Finger Lakes.
and
Finger
that's
Lakes.
what I make my cold brew out of, and it's phenomenal.
Finger
like-
Lakes and Cuca Brewing or Coffee Roasters.
They're
Wow.
here, right?
They're-
Or they're in Dundee, or where are they at?
The Cuca one is at the Black Gap Bistro, which is on 54 Route 54, and that's a great place. And the Finger Lakes one is in Farmington, and that's pretty good too. Why are you making weird faces?
Finger Lakes is in Farmington.
What are you
okay.
doing?
Because you said route. You said you go on route route. It's like-
Wow.
It's one of those words that you're not
Well, you
sure
covered-
whether it's
I think she
how it's-
covered herself nicely.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's like
like how's it supposed to be pronounced? Oh shit, I said it wrong. Maybe, and then you just rolled with it.
cacao,
yeah.
cocoa.
Right.
whatever.
I've never been to Black Cat Bistro.
You should when it's
Yeah,
open.
Sounds good. I heard they do lobster rolls,
Yes,
Sounds
but their
pretty crazy.
coffee's phenomenal.
coffee. And
I don't know if
lobster
I'd get a
rolls.
lobster roll from a coffee place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
is there?
seems like a bad.
I think it's a good
It
idea.
seems.
Who's there? It's rare. Who's there? It's rare. Come fill your time. This pot's for all. From the Finger Lakes, join in the call. Learn something new about the Cuca Trail. Upstate New York, every episode I tell. Who's there? It's rare. Who's there? It's rare. It's rare.
No.
outrageous.
It is outrageous.
Happy Sunday.
Y'all missed
Yeah.
this.
Happy Sunday.
Katie.
Sunday fun day.
My cousin Katie.
I had a food distributor, and it was hilarious because I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to buy seafood from you. It's like, yeah, there's always a good thing in restaurants. If you can't smell the sea, don't eat fish. And I'm like, but you distribute here in the Finger Lakes. You probably shouldn't say that.
That's a good point.
And I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah.
If you're
great.
at the restaurant and you can smell the fish, don't eat
Yeah,
fish.
don't do it. Don't do it. It was pretty hilarious. So yeah,
I'm glad for that.
I've never bought any fish from him. So.
He's a great salesman.
Yeah,
it
he did
sounds
do a
like.
very good job on selling his product.
Wow.
Laurentide was rocking yesterday, Sam.
Yeah, it was fun.
So
Yeah.
can I tell you, we were about to go out because Kev and I went hiking Buttermilk.
Falls.
Oh my gosh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Realized way out of shape. I didn't realize the incline of all those stairs. We were walking back down and we saw this guy who looked like he was kind of fit. And he was like, after he was going up the stairs, he had his like hands on his knees. He's hunched over. And I'm like, dude, you're not even like there. Yeah, this is probably the most intense part. It's easier after that.
Yeah.
But by the time we got back into Penn, I'm like, let's go out. And it's like 8:00 and that's when you're ending. And I'm like,
I was done. Yeah.
I didn't know that music was a lot earlier. I thought it was just later on in the night. So I apologize for not making it out
you
there
don't have to
last night.
apologize. It's all good.
Yes.
You've seen me many times.
How dare
Many
you?
How
times.
dare
you?
Many
dare you?
times. See many times.
It's all good.
I didn't even know Sam was there, and then I like go in to grab my keg. I like look over. I'm like, he's in the. You never know when to say hi to a musician because you don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
do the nod.
yeah. Well, see,
Yes.
But
Right,
like,
see, they're not.
You got it because you're singing, and
and he's busy.
I've had Sam stop a song to say, "Hey, what's up?" to me. That's how you know he's a good dude. Like he'll be
Some-
like
Oh.
he'll
depends
be,
on the day.
he'll be like,
Depends on the
Yeah.
he'll be
timing.
like, "Hey, Jess, how's it going?" Like, and just go, and then like right back, same note and
Oh, yeah.
key he was going in. I'm like, that's strange. How does somebody do
What
that?
I've never seen before, though, what Sam's the only person I've ever seen
I know what you're gonna
actually complete a pizza transaction during a song and then finish the song.
That's
What?
pretty sweet.
How? Wait, explain the story.
He's playing at the LBC.
Okay.
Cams rolls in with the pie, and he's like, "Yeah." And the guy comes up, sets it on the table, and he's got the loop going, and he like just breaks for a second, counts out the money. He's like, "There you go, keep change," and goes
Filthy
back to the
animal.
song.
That's called talent.
How do you remember
Never seen that
where you
before.
were in a song when you stopped like that?
Sometimes sometimes I guess I don't, but most of the time it's pretty easy. It's like verse, chorus, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
okay.
you're just like, okay, like you can usually remember what you sang.
Okay.
But no, I've always trained myself because people are always tipping and I always want to make sure I say thank you.
Oh,
Like,
that's so
and
nice.
no
Yeah.
matter what, like even if it's like, man, this is a crucial part in the song, like I gotta stop and I gotta say thank you very much or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think that, that's the least I can do when people are throwing money at you, you know what I mean? So just gotten used to doing that, I guess. So
It'd be cool if you could just have like a special lick that you play. You know what I'm saying? Like every time that somebody
Oh,
drops it in.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when you go to a bar and if like somebody gives a good tip, they ring the bell. Like that kind of
I
deal.
like that idea.
making me think of like Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompas and the
What if you just had like a cowbell every time?
Bust
You
out
just
a flute.
ding the bell.
Yeah, you could have a bell.
A cowbell.
Bam. Just like
Yeah.
slam it right in the middle of a song. I don't know. It just feels like it
Sam's
feels
like
right.
all these people that aren't musicians
Like-
coming up with musician things for me.
I love it. Just do it. I mean,
Keep
I
talking.
need the outside insight. Right? So
So, are you allowed to tell somebody that you have a favorite song they sing, or is that like?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So I got to tell you,
Pony
you're
Oh, pony.
Benny and the Jets.
is your
Dude, you
fave.
killed that song.
Thank you.
That's the way it should have been sang.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's-
I love it.
that's
So
bold.
we have a vinyl, and so
Yeah.
we listen to Sam's vinyl at the house.
That's
And-
nice of you.
Man, freaking couple of those songs,
Thank you.
nail them. I love that song. Yeah, when I came in to grab the kegs out of the cooler, you were singing another song, and it's another song you do well.
What
I
song
can't
was it?
remember, but he was like middle of it, and you know when
Do
he
you remember
likes
what
a
it
song
was?
because he's like, there's sometimes where you're into a song,
Oh yeah.
you're like. You're feeling the song, and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna bother Sam. I'm gonna let him hammer this one out.
Usually it's 70s songs.
Is it?
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Like I'm a sucker for 70s music and especially jazzy chords. And if it's got soul to it, like I'm in. I'm
There
all
you
in.
go.
Oh, that sounds good.
So like Michael Jackson, and when I do Rock With You, I feel that like Earth, Wind and Fire, like stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's my favorite kind of music. So, but
That's funny.
Where have you been jamming other than Penny and what other towns have you been hitting it up?
all over. It's funny. So I moved to Geneva.
Yeah.
So I guess that's new, right?
Yeah.
Semi-new.
New
Semi-new.
since our last show.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I feel like we knew that, but okay.
yeah, so I haven't played in Geneva a lot, like at
Really?
all. Yeah, like I think I played maybe once in Geneva. Yeah, once in Geneva since I've been. No, twice, because I played Three Brothers and then I played White Springs opened back up and they're doing music
Oh,
again, which is
good.
awesome.
No, that is awesome.
So I have another gig there, but yeah, no, I've been playing all over. I mean Lockport, Victor, Syracuse, Corning, Elmira, and then all over just the lakes, But I have been a lot in like Hammondsport, like
You've been
this year.
doing Point of the Bluff.
Point of the Bluff. I love
Yes, Point of the Bluff.
They have a sick setup now.
They do.
Nasty.
They really do.
It is awesome.
Mhm.
They're getting like big acts up there. They were.
Oh yeah,
Billy
for a while.
Bob was there
Yeah.
last night.
They got like Alabama. They got Sam Swanson. They got Gin Blossom.
And Billy Bob.
They got-
Gin
Billy Bob.
Sam's a big act. He is.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty sweet.
Oh my gosh.
It's so I was showing Mary some videos, and when you used to be in your band, the Handsome Young Lady.
I still am.
You're still in the
Hey,
band.
we're
Oh.
playing a gig.
Oh,
Where?
are you?
Where are you
I
playing?
should announce that.
Yes.
Drop
Yeah.
it.
We're playing at Bines Fest.
Oh.
And we're opening. We're playing
Stop.
from noon to 2:30, and then I got to go play another gig in Watkins Glen. So,
Okay.
Nice.
so, but that's our return show.
When
Oh,
is
wow.
that?
So that's on, I believe
Wait.
that's the 5th. That's a Saturday, the 5th of September. That's Labor Day, like weekend.
Saturday's
So-
the 4th.
Is it the 4th?
It's the
I'll
4th.
plead the
Hey,
5th.
you know what? Listen,
I played the
friend.
5th.
September 4th, I will be there
Hell yeah.
because I love you and the boys together.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Yes.
I didn't know you
It's-
still played together.
We haven't since January of 2020.
Yeah,
Really?
it's been a
Wow.
while.
Yeah. And we just kind of were talking and we should start playing again. And a couple of opportunities came up and then we're playing
sweet.
Tioga Downs Casino, which is the last place we played on
Okay.
January 3rd, 2020.
January 3rd is my birthday.
So that was the last time we played was on your
Oh.
birthday of
Oh my
2020.
God, there's
Uh,
something.
And so we're playing there on October 29th. It's a Friday. And then we got a corporate event in Watkins Glen at the Harbor Hotel
There we go.
that got deferred or pushed back a year. So we're doing that on like mid-December. And then I'm leaving. I'm
Where
getting
you
out of
going?
here.
It's gone.
I'm taking my kids and I'm traveling south. I'm probably going to meet their mom and their stepdad, and they just bought a fifth wheel and I just bought a bus. And so I'm going to meet them down south, and she'll get the kids for a month, like
Right.
in January, but I'll have them all of December. And then I'm going to LA to shoot a music video or two for Slave to Servant.
Nice.
So
You're busy.
Do you have enough with Slave to Servant to play a full set? Like
oh yeah,
to do shows? Yeah.
I mean, we did one show after I think it was May 1st or something. We did a live stream. It was
I know
just
you said you did a
acoustic.
show.
It was
I just didn't know if you
acoustic.
did a full show or what you were.
It was the stuff off the Singularity, which is like to me, it's not like the new, it's just not my favorite stuff.
You
But
can't see it, but the description for
I'm
this
like-
video is the question, what color is the grass? I thought we'd ask.
Okay.
Never greener. is
So
what you're
always
saying?
never greener.
That's right.
Back to Sam and the band though.
Yeah.
So Mary saw, she's like, that sounds like Sam, but is that Sam? Because you look so different.
Oh, totally.
You know, you had
People
like the
never-
like
they're
chops,
like, is that
and-
you on the front?
and the
Like,
short hair,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just so funny. Like, and honestly, I guess if I didn't know you, I could almost see where you're like, dude, that's a different person.
Yeah,
Like,
people don't believe
It's
that's
crazy
me.
how
Like,
different you look. Yeah, it's so.
Yeah, I
funny.
saw the vinyl
So,
yesterday, and I got the same reaction. Like, yeah.
it's funny.
That's great.
Just what a haircut and some chops will do, and you freaking there you go. What are those called? Were those
Mutton chops.
Mutton chops.
That was
yeah.
what they were. But I want to say thank you guys for your friendships. I appreciate you guys very much here.
Yeah.
Like
We appreciate you,
You
Sam.
too,
I really
Cheers.
mean that sincerely. Like you guys, all of your personalities are awesome.
Cheers, man.
And I don't know. I just after moving and just starting anew, and who knows what's going on in the future, I just really appreciate you all. Like, so
Thanks, man.
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
we
gonna
like
have-
having you around.
You're gonna have quite an adventure ahead of you. It's gonna be super exciting.
Life's an adventure.
He's got an adventure. He's got 2 kittens. That's an
Oh
adventure.
yeah.
Are they going in the bus?
Please say yes.
Oh yes, definitely. They're
Oh
on the
my
bus.
God, that's gonna be the craziest bus
So
ever.
my goal is, and maybe I should say this too on the podcast. Anybody who's watching, if y'all know a bus mechanic, holler at me for real. I mean, I've got a call in. Hopefully, I can get somebody out this week, but I don't know for sure. They said they might be able to come out this week, but I'm just trying to get things tweaked on it and get it all up to speed so I can get out of here in the winter. So,
I don't know any.
We
bus
might have a
mechanics.
connection though.
But so
We might be able to
school
connect.
district.
you know Evan Dillon, right?
Yeah, of course.
Evan's a mechanic.
Yeah.
You might want to reach out to Evan, see if
Yeah,
he
I see
can't
he's
give
fixing up like something right now
Yeah.
himself.
give you some help here. Yeah,
Yeah,
Evan's
no, I know Evan. I could reach out.
Yeah,
I
he's
know-
the only person I really know that's like pretty.
I can do mechanic stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't have anything that's going to lift a bus.
What about your
Yeah,
arms?
you need a shop.
I
You need
need
a shop.
yeah.
The
you-
shops are very helpful.
I just need to get somebody to where it's located in Victor, and just need them. I bought new 8D batteries, which are insane, like this big batteries. So I got some new batteries. It'll need new brakes or the whole brake job done. It'll just need to be cleared out of the fluids because it's been sitting for 9 years,
Whoa.
which sounds crazy,
Sure.
but it was literally, it came back from a big trip. You know what I mean? Last time, like it was fine.
Were you
So
able to start it?
I'm sure it'll start once the batteries get put in, and once the fluids get all, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm positive. I'm also like, so the way that this worked, maybe I should tell the bus story. So I was on Facebook Marketplace and I was like, I got to get my fingers, or my toes wet on this thing, because this is something I've always wanted to do. And I've been watching these bus conversion videos. And so I found a school bus like 2 hours away from Geneva. For the lady had just dropped the price down to 9,000, and I was like, "Oh, that's not too bad." It was like 83,000 miles on it. Like, so I was really thinking about it. So I called my buddy Rob, who owns CD Cafe. It's a record store in Corning, and I was like, Rob, like, if I buy a bus, will your buddy Terry in Bath, will he let me park it there and then work on it? Because I just need a spot to park it. And he's like, maybe, but you should really talk to Terry, because his dad left him and his brother his Greyhound MCI 5, 1975, 35-foot, like fully converted.
It's already there.
Bus. It was a Yellowstone touring bus from 1975 to 1985. Those things are made to go like millions of miles. Like, it'll last my whole life. Like, I just got to, I'll have to replace things, you know what I mean, as I go. But so it just came up. Like, it was like, oh, just follow that path, right? Like, go for the bus, and then you get a different bus, and you get your dream bus, basically.
Awesome.
So anyway, I spent like 10 grand on it. 10 grand for that.
Yeah.
As opposed to 9 grand for a school bus that I would have had to convert. Like, it's got everything, bathroom,
Saved
kitchen,
yourself.
everything.
You were so excited about that.
And you didn't buy it from Russians, which is good.
I was waiting for the Russian thing.
We got to get Phil a bodyguard.
Jeez, I don't know how he's still alive.
Yeah,
honestly.
I just want to make sure that Sam didn't buy it from Russians. That's all.
No.
Okay.
But I don't know. There are people.
Sorry, Phil.
They're people that I trust. It's not just Facebook Marketplace.
Right.
Yeah,
You know
not
what I mean?
just the internet. Where
you don't want to pull.
And you're
Phil.
just ready to be a rambling man.
Feels like we're
Greyhound
changing
bus.
this subject. I've already got Putin off me. I don't need him back. He's saying so.
Yeah. So anyway, if things go well, I would like to go full time in April. That's my goal. So
Nice.
I'd like to.
Do we know? Do any of our viewers or listeners have a connection for bus wraps? Because I think that would be pretty cool. We got to get the bus wrapped.
Oh, I got it.
Do you know people?
There's a guy in Auburn that does car wrap, like everything that I know. He does my
you
merch.
think he can do a 35-foot Greyhound?
I know Matt. Matt's got it.
We got to get.
But it's stainless steel. So
I would be
I kinda
so
don't
fired
wanna,
up.
I was
wrap.
gonna say you don't want to wrap.
What
What
I
about
wanna
just
clean
the
it.
windows?
We'll figure it out.
And we got to get an It's Rare sticker.
Like once again,
It's Rare in the back window.
I'll let you come up with ideas. But that's like the aesthetics like don't matter at all to me. It's all about the engine. It's all about just getting it.
Yeah.
I think it'll cost between $2 to $5 grand to get everything shop shape, which
There we
is
go.
fine. Like, I'm ready for it. Let's go.
Done. Yeah.
Let's get it done. And this is my new home, and I own it. Boom.
That's awesome.
What's up?
So you're planning on you're like gonna live in it? Is that what you're thinking?
It's my goal.
The goal. Okay.
So
No shit.
I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off. I'm hoping in 2022 I can pull that off. If not, then I at least have it. I can park it somewhere.
Right.
But yeah,
Cool.
goals.
Just like
You know what I'm trying to imagine is going home and telling Mary,
you're gonna sell your car.
"Hey, Mary,
No,
let's live in a bus."
I'll tow.
You'll
I'll
tow it?
I'll tow. And I got 2 cars, by the way.
Oh.
My parents
Oh.
gave me their Mountaineer.
Those are nice cars.
It's decent.
Mountaineers are nice.
Yeah, so I'd probably tow that. So
Okay.
You got to have a flatbed for that. You got to have all 4
No.
up. You don't put all
Just
for
4
the
up.
roll it.
car you would. For the car you would.
With the all-wheel drive, you don't put all 4 up?
Don't.
They always made me flatbed mine.
My uncle has an Essex like 45-foot motorhome, and they would tow their Jeep all the time. So everywhere.
You can completely disengage the transfer case though.
Mm.
I don't know. I think they dropped the drive shaft on those too.
Okay. Well, whatever. And maybe I'll get a new car. I don't know. I don't really know.
And Phil breaking Sam's dreams.
Oh, no.
No.
You're not breaking any dreams,
That's
bro.
wow. Yeah, so that way you can still go through the drive-through and stuff.
Yeah.
You want to have a car to tool around in.
Oh, of course.
You gotta have
you got to have a car.
or
if you're full time, you got to have a car.
what about like a scooter or something? You know, you just
definitely.
like
That's something.
just have a scooter and you don't even have to tow that.
Mhm.
You just bring it right
Oh,
inside.
and that's the beautiful thing about this thing. It's got all the storage underneath.
Yeah.
It looks like
You know
your
what I mean?
storage.
It's like-
yeah.
Like I'm basically, and I'm in downsizing mode. And you've seen my apartment, so I'll eventually be selling basically everything. So, so my table, my couch, which is real nice. Yeah.
He's really selling people. He's like, couch is good.
We're gonna have a yard sale at some point. House sale. Just come into my apartment.
It's
What do you
rare.
want?
It's easy.
Yard
Just makes
sale.
easier to do that.
Do you want any of these things?
Can
Yeah.
Phil?
What about that
Can
table?
Phil auction it
Yeah,
off?
I'll be getting rid of that.
Can you do the auction
That
thing?
table?
The
What
gym
table?
floor. It's a gym floor.
It's a gym floor
It's a
table?
table made out
It's
of a
made
gym
out of
floor?
a gymnasium floor. It's real thick wood.
No way.
Yes.
Oh,
I got it at like this like artsy and
You can do auctioneering?
Geneva.
I want to see
Yeah.
it.
It's awesome.
Let's do
Oh
it.
man.
They played. They
10,
played.
I give 10, 15 over here, 15, 50, I'm gonna give it
We got
20,
this. We'll
20,
sell it.
20,
Don't worry.
20.
These two played.
20. 20 now, one, go on one.
We're good. We're gonna sell all Sam's shit.
Oh,
There's gonna be nothing left.
These two played Crossfire on that table. It was a pretty mean match.
It was intense, yeah.
Was it good?
Oh, it was good.
Oh my god.
Phil kept cheating. He's like keeping all the.
We had
all the
opposite
balls.
strategies.
Did you cheat?
We had opposite.
So
No,
Phil's strategy
I
was
took
cheating.
I
No, it
took the
wasn't cheating.
patience,
It wasn't
precision
cheating,
strategy, and he took the Fast and
Aggressive.
Furious.
Yeah, but
I barely won. It was a
also
close match.
there was like a slight disadvantage with the way that my floor is like this. You know what I mean?
Well, the
So-
advantage worked out. We found out because the one person was able to keep all the balls, and the other person was able to. Like,
That's true.
Yeah, it evened out.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but Mary
don't
has
think our
videos
views-
of it. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God, I gotta
wow,
see those
Phil and I
videos.
look like we're having legit fun. Like, it was intense.
Crossfire. We're gonna have the
Crossfire.
tournament.
I don't remember Crossfire,
Oh
but
my
I remember
God.
the commercial.
Well, we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it up.
That's
Oh,
one
God.
thing that Sam really wants is to
I
have
want to
the
have a Crossfire
tournament.
tournament.
Crossfire.
I've
Definitely.
never seen anyone cook a
We
steak.
could do it on
like,
the outlet trail.
like Sam as well.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Sam?
You just like Sam like threw these steaks on the grill and like nonchalantly, like never really looked at them, just like flipped them, like yeah.
I just felt
To-
right.
Takes them off. They're like the perfect medium rare I've ever seen. I like sit over my steaks and watch them, and I'm like,
I don't.
temp-
Yeah.
like Sam's like, yeah, fuck those steaks. We'll come back to them later, and like takes them off and they're perfect. And I was like, he can sing, he can cook steak without trying. I'm sick of this guy. Like, what's going on?
That's when Jesse fell in love with you. That's when Jesse fell in love with you.
Oh, that was fun. It was a
Intuition.
good time. I love that. I love like we're just having dinner at Sam's house, and he's like, I really should have set up for this because like he's got like nothing out, so we're just like all standing around, and it was so much fun because it wasn't set up. Like it's just fun to hang out and rough it. So
Oh, like, my favorite part was because I was slightly embarrassed that I didn't know where anything in my kitchen was.
yeah, my girlfriend's
Oh.
going through Sam's like cupboards and
And
stuff.
she's like finding everything.
yeah.
No,
Oh.
he's like,
And I'm
he's
like, I don't.
searching.
She's like, "Where's this?" And I'm like,
He's like, we need a
I have to plead the
spoon.
fifth. My mom came and set up my kitchen, which makes it actually makes sense. With I'm
The
a
thing
dude,
is,
so
she wasn't digging through though. She went straight to the drawer that it
she
was
knew
in.
where it was
Like,
every
she-
time.
I looked at her. I was like, Mary, how do you know where all Sam's stuff is in his
Mary's
place?
been there numerous times.
And Mary's like, what do you mean? I was like, you know what I mean. She's like, will you shut up? And she's like looking for all this stuff. It's so funny. We were dying. That was a fun time. So
Mary's awesome, by the way. Seal of approval.
she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think we've been telling him that many times.
Pretty cool. Sometimes.
No,
Most of the
no, all the time.
Talking about we went to the Park Inn last night for dinner.
How was that?
So good.
Is it?
Yeah. You ever been?
Negative.
I had chicken and waffles with thyme maple syrup and like a peach.
Ooh.
I don't know, something. And it was killer.
I've been wanting to go there for quite some time.
I'm going to some other place I've never heard of today too. It's some brewery. I think it's a brewery on this side of Geneva on 14.
Is
Oh,
it new?
The new one. Yeah.
There's
Is it
two new
new?
ones.
Alice.
No,
Big
There's Big
Alice.
Alice. It's the
it's
other
not
one.
Big Alice.
It's the other one.
I finally went to Big Alice. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love it there. Yeah.
What's the
What's the other one? I forgot what it's called though.
It starts with an A.
how new?
It's very new.
Oh really?
I think they opened like around the same time. Both of them did.
Really?
You're heading out there?
Yeah, around 4, I think.
Wow.
Nope.
Thanks
nope.
for the invite.
Are you feeling left out?
No.
Good.
Do you want to go?
No, I can't. But I want to complain.
You still could have invited me. No. Nope.
This
That,
one.
that one.
Or
Number 10.
Oh, I've never even heard
is
of
that
that.
French?
Or Danish. I'm gonna say Greek.
Is it?
Is it?
Isn't that the name of?
Adonis.
Isn't that the name of the forest in Belarus, where the Nazis, where the Jews made the stand against the Nazis?
You know, I don't know.
Is it like German or
I
I don't know. I've heard good things though.
I
Good
just
things.
learned about the Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance the other day with my buddy who's a history teacher. So I'm learning history again.
Ardan.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
Belgium.
Is it in Belgium?
Yeah,
Located in Belgium, yeah.
that's where the Jane
As
name
well as
comes
Germany,
from.
France.
It's
Okay.
Belgium.
Belgium, Luxembourg,
Look at Belgium.
France,
This place is
Germany.
sweet. And they got the best chocolate.
Good old Wikipedia.
Okay, World War
Where
II.
would we be without Wikipedia?
I just remember in high school, teachers were like, use nothing from Wikipedia. You're not allowed to put anything in your paper from Wikipedia.
It's like
And all us kids were like, yeah, right.
No, what you
Like,
do is
we're doing
you
it
go to
anyways.
Wikipedia, you look up what they cited,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
what
go
they said
from
about
there.
it, and then you go to those.
Oh, God.
Use your resources.
hey,
kids.
you should type in Tuskegee experiment into Wikipedia for me.
Ooh,
Do it. Just do it.
Why?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Just do it, Phil.
Do it.
Do it.
It's a good segue.
Yeah. Where are we going?
Look at
We're
that.
going down the rabbit
Talking
hole.
It was
You
good.
seems like you like going down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
I do.
It's fun. It's there's like some sort of
Ooh,
fun
there's
in
an album called Tuskegee
This is something you don't do at
it.
like
So if
1
you
o'clock in the
just
morning.
read it, Phil. Read the first part of it.
I'd
First
really
sentence.
rather not.
No,
uh,
just the first sentence.
yeah, the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male. A bunch of stuff in parentheses was an
Ethically
ethically,
abusive.
not ethnically.
Ethically
I think
abusive.
both ethically and ethnically abusive.
Yes, I think so.
Study conducted between 1932 and 1972. That's 40 years, people.
That's terrifying.
By the
By
United States Public Health Service and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
CDC. What's up?
Whoa.
That's
So
why-
for
CDC.
people that are wondering about vaccine hesitancy among
That's
the
fair.
African American population, I think that this is a good place to start.
We've brought this up.
There's certainly a lot
multiple
more
times.
to it than this, but it's a good place to start.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have we brought it up? We seriously have talked about it because a lot of people were saying we were trying to explain people of color are hesitant because of that.
People
You know,
forget that
yeah.
like memories aren't that short. Like people,
That wasn't that long ago, dude. 72?
Yeah,
That
that's
wasn't long.
insane.
That's terrifying.
yeah,
I mean,
like,
my dad graduated
our
high school in
parents-
And we're sitting
77.
here taking
our
orders
parents'
from the
lifetimes.
CDC right now.
Our parents' lifetimes.
Right.
It's pretty that stuff's pretty terrifying, yeah, to think about. But some of it's like see, the only reason that I trust it in the vaccine more is because you know that the government loves taxes, so they don't want to kill you. So at the end of the day, they want your money. So
They
it's
still
like
gonna wanna kill you.
I'm not talking about instant
Jesse.
death. They want you alive to pay, but they want
Yeah.
you sick.
They don't care if they
sure,
kill. But Jesse, they don't care if they kill poor people.
Well, that's true. Yeah, just the middle, just the middle people, right? I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it's okay to kill poor people because they
They're
don't
not-
pay taxes.
They're not a
Right.
good human resource.
right.
Right. You gotta pay a good amount of taxes then to keep you alive.
The
But-
thing that brought this up is we were talking a little bit about the passports and the other kind of create stratification of human rights in the United States based on whether or not you were vaccinated and what you were allowed to do and what you weren't allowed to do. And it came up that less than a third of African Americans are vaccinated.
Oh yeah.
Really. So
And I'm still questioning that number
Interesting.
that Dr. Drew put
Yeah.
out there because, like I said 2 weeks ago, it was at 9%.
does anyone
So-
trust what Dr. Drew says?
In the general population, we're up like in New York State, I think we're close to 70%.
Yeah,
Pretty
but
high.
the funny thing is in New York City, they were all about being a asylum, like for minorities
Yeah.
and foreign people, I guess. I don't know how you really want to put it, but they're the majority that aren't unvaccinated, and they want them to all. So you can't go anywhere without your card now, an ID in New York
Right.
In
City.
New York City.
In New York
Right.
City.
And that's all
Yeah, in New York
minorities and foreigners that really aren't vaccinated in
That's
New York
why I
City.
bought a bus.
Right.
So it's like,
It's like, I'm outta
it doesn't
here.
feel like they're trying to be inclusive.
He's going to
here.
have all the gas
So-
cans. He's going to be.
Oh God,
I
No,
ran out.
he's gonna be on the show Preppers. It's over.
You know, I ran
He's
out of tin foil during the lockdown while everybody else ran out of toilet paper.
done.
That's why you got a stainless steel bus.
That's right.
Listen, rule number one: don't shoot inside of the bus. You know, make sure you put the barrel on the outside, You know, that's one of the things people don't understand. Like I try to teach them, like
so
you can't do that. So,
with what you're talking about the black population, and so last year, I don't think I mentioned this on our discussion back in December. I think that was right.
I don't know.
So last July of 2020, July 4th, Farrakhan, which, you know, disclaimer, you know, on that one.
Right.
But as you know, like Farrakhan is the leader of the Nation of Islam. Nation of Islam is not recognized by Islam itself. It's a completely different sect here in the United States. And it's for black people. It's specifically, and Farrakhan was the guy that took the place of Malcolm X before Malcolm X decided to leave Nation of Islam. Actually, I don't think he necessarily left Nation of Islam. He just, I'm trying to remember the whole, something happened with the original guy. I forget what it's Elijah Muhammad, I think was the name of the guy or whatever. But anyway, so Farrakhan is like the voice of that whole sect. Now, a lot of the black community is Nation of Islam. I mean, look at like just the hip hop community in general, like, and a lot of them follow and get a lot of their like spiritual mentoring from Farrakhan.
But he got in trouble for being an
anti-Semitic,
yeah, because like, he's against like Jewish people,
which is an interest. Like, I'm kind of like, I don't know. He said some things that are very controversial. I'm not gonna
pretty crazy.
I'm not getting behind any. I'm
Yeah.
not getting behind any of that stuff that he said. But I try to keep my finger on the pulse of things, especially if it's like a leader of a significant population of people here in the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when he came on last July 4th, he talked about the coronavirus, and he had a mask, and he was like, this is serious. Like, you know, we need to take this seriously, but we need to test these vaccines
Right.
with our epidemiologists, you know, and our scientists. We will not take this vaccine. And he said, like, point blank, that if the United States government makes the vaccine mandatory, that the Nation of Islam, which is a significant population of black citizens, will consider that an act of war. So
This guy's pretty radical.
So what's going on with New York City right now?
Right.
Dude, shit could fucking hit the fan hard. Like, I'm just saying, buckle up if they keep doing this. Like,
Who's making who?
Yeah, but the thing,
who's making who take the vaccine though?
no one yet, but they're doing the passports.
I'm not for war, but I'm also not for mandating shit like this.
You don't
No.
think that he just runs his mouth though?
I think that he does run his mouth. I think it's very prevalent that he does, but I think that also the infrastructure of the Nation of Islam is very wide, and I think that I don't think that they're fucking around. Is what I'm trying to say.
I feel like he's.
I don't.
It's funny because people want to talk, like people that don't like Trump, I've seen stick up for this guy, and to me they're just like they're opposites, but they're equals.
Same kind of piece.
Like, yeah, they both just say outlandish things.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And it's
Okay.
like, and I don't know. Like, I think he's full of shit. I would say, Sam, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I understand it, but that guy, he's just super, his ideas and the stuff he said
yeah,
about the Jewish population. I'm like,
No,
like I said,
I don't back any hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the same time, though, like, I do think, and I think that you got to be careful. Like, we fall into this thing in society where, like, we will cancel people based on their speech because it's hate speech, because we define it as hate speech. If somebody says something about, you just got to be like, for yourself, like, okay, well, I really can't take you seriously on these issues, and just take it at face value and not be so, like, I don't know. It's like, because he's been silenced, like, by all the social media. He doesn't have like a Twitter or anything anymore, just like Alex Jones. But it's like, okay, so people are going to say some shit that, you know, is apparently, like, not okay to say, but, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like freedom of speech is freedom to say something hateful, like, and you have to be able to allow people to say whatever they want and then decide for their fucking selves whether or not that they want to listen to that or not. And I'm not for, like, hating on people, but also, like, there's a lot of shit that is getting classified. Like, my friend Gons from Canary Cry Radio, his YouTube channel just got yanked.
Huh.
Like completely yanked. He doesn't say anything hateful. He's Asian. Like, stop Asian hate. Like,
Wow.
and he just got completely pulled because what they do is just like No Agenda. Like, they will basically read through news articles and tear through like the way that they're phrased. Like, oh, that's real scientific, or like they'll really critique things. And they've been completely. He's been demonetized for like a couple of years.
Wow.
And then now he reappealed his channel. He got it back for like a week, and then they just yanked it again.
Wow.
So he's done. I mean, but he had so many followers. Like, so it's crazy. Like, they're censoring people that I know are not hateful. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful with this whole hate speech and canceling people out.
Well, that's the problem with.
You bring up a good point, though. It's like when we do talk about freedom of speech and whatever it looks like, but you're absolutely right. People, for some reason, just can't be like, you're crazy or whatever. I'm not going to agree with it, but everyone's like so passionately sensitive or overly sensitive to so many things. Like, dude, relax, chill. We can have a conversation.
Yeah,
and it's okay. You don't have to block me.
And I love you, even though we disagree. I try to say that to my friend this week. Yeah, like, oh. I don't even know if he's my friend anymore, but you know
he probably unfriended your ass.
But he was attacking me, like, and he was telling me what I should do, and I'm like, yo, listen, buddy, like, I just want you to know, like, I love you no matter what, but notice that I'll never tell you what to do.
Right.
Like, exactly. That's all I can say. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm all for freedom. Like, period. So like, make your decision. Like, and I won't discriminate on people who don't get vaccinated ever. No. Like, so. That's my message. Is like,
or people that do. Like, what?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
What's it matter?
Doesn't live and let live. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, geez. Like, you know. Sorry.
No.
I love a good rant.
And that's I appreciate. That's
why I love your mom.
I appreciate Mary, like, because like she's in the medical field and she's really open minded about it. Like, I love that. Like a lot of my friends in the medical field are just one way. That's it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. We need more people like that in the medical field.
It's hard to find people that, and something that I think I became friends with Phil, is somebody who can look at something from both sides. Oh, yeah. And I mean, sometimes Phil's pretty like on freedom, right? Like, you can't take freedom from Phil. Like, there's like, but you can talk to him, right? He'll listen.
I'll try to find a fair way to do freedom.
Yeah. And that's like, and what's really lacking, especially growing up in Dundee, it's like, it's very Republican, and there's only one way of thinking. And, and then, you go to Ithaca, it's like, it's very one way of thinking, and there's no like in between anymore. There's no like, well, this is not right. We all know this. And so, it's too bad that we can't all just say, you got your vaccine. Cool. Like, you don't have it. Cool. Like, I mean, but my main thing is, if you don't have your vaccine and you're sick and you can't go do things, then, I mean, that's your problem. But you can't keep people out of these businesses because they don't have a vaccine. That doesn't make sense.
Well, you can if it's a corporatocracy. Like, it's like,
we got vaccines. So we didn't get sick. So we should be safe. If the unvaccinated people we shouldn't be scared of them because we got the vaccine, right? Isn't that?
That's exactly it.
I got my vaccine so I can go out and do things again, so I can feel safe again, so I don't do harm to other people. But other people are like, I don't want to be vaccinated because I don't trust it. That's okay.
Cool. That is okay.
That's totally okay.
I don't use Tylenol. I don't use Advil. I let my headaches go away. That's just how I roll.
Yeah. No. Essential oils are also.
Have you noticed though, we all did the vaccine. They said that it would be something that made it so that we would at least be safe, even if, not necessarily everybody would be. But now they're coming back around and finding another way to stoke fear by saying, oh, well, now we like everybody. Come on. What the hell? How can you like not being afraid anymore? You're supposed to still be afraid. We need to like, come on, let's throw some fuel on that Delta fear, like monger that fear.
And they found out even if you do somehow get COVID again, that the symptoms are they're really not extreme at all once you have the vaccine. They're a lot less. So it's like, what is there to fear then? I mean, that's why
the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
What's up?
Said by a Democrat.
Well, I think
said by a Democrat.
I think
they don't talk like that no more.
A warmongering Democrat.
A warmongering. Oh, he was a horrible piece of trash for a lot of reasons. But He did say that.
Are you canceling him?
I would love to cancel him. He put Asian people in concentration camps.
So
I'd love to cancel him.
I've always wondered why cancel instead of teach. Like that's always been the interesting part of this whole cancel culture. It's like if Sam says something outlandish, it's all like he's trash, let's get rid of him. Instead of saying like, hey, let's teach people why that's probably not an okay way to think or to say out loud, because that's just not appropriate, you know. So it's like, and how much better would it be if Sam's like, hey, that was a mistake, you know? I mean, I'm just using anything as an example. Like, hey, I didn't know that's how people felt. I'm sorry. It's like it means way more.
You should at least give it a shot.
It will go longer that way.
At least try that.
It teaches people, because if you're instantly like, oh, you suck,
instead of indoctrinating,
done.
Right.
Yeah. So
we're taught to be indoctrinated and not to critically think.
it's like
We're not taught to ask questions. And somebody said this recently. I bought that book, which I didn't finish it yet, so we'll talk about that later. But he talked about in the book, he talked about when you stop critiquing, that is the ultimate form of you're now worshiping.
Yeah.
So when you stop critiquing something, you are worshiping it. Be careful. You know what I mean?
well, people. I remember when I was younger that even the people on the right would question Republican ideals. Like they'd be like, now it feels like it's only right critiques left critiques right. There's no it doesn't feel like people are, everyone just sits in their party lines.
They
Do you know why that is?
into the team
No,
narrative.
I don't understand
because Republican ideals don't exist anymore, nor do Democratic ideals.
No.
They've both given up on their principles that they had as parties, and now it's purely tribal. It's like, what did my chief say?
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's
religious.
our line now.
It's straight
It's
religion,
not
bro.
worshipping.
They don't critique it because
So is science too.
whoever
Science
their
is
leader
becoming,
is.
What was it? I'm trying to think of the publication. My friends covered it on Canary Cry. It was like, I'm going to get it wrong. Is it MIT? I forget what the. Anyway, they basically said that like they were talking about people like me who question things, who try to study up on things and like aren't into the vaccine, for instance. And they talked about these people view science like it's not an institution. Like, when was science an institution? It was a scientific process, like where you could always question and you could always test. You know what I mean? Like, so like that's what we're getting. We're getting into the scientism, like religion, and I'd be careful. I mean, remember eugenics? Like, come on now. You know what I mean? So
when
a lot of sketchy stuff.
when vaccines become political, that's pretty scary then.
That's what I keep saying is that the worst thing that's happening in all of this is just for
divide and conquer.
Anything related to your healthcare to be political. Like that should be a personal decision with your doctor and never
autonomy,
never with your representative.
Basic autonomy.
How many times and I wonder if Marianne's seen it in her bar, but how many times have you had somebody come in and be like, hey, don't worry, I'm vaccinated. Like they just like throw it out.
They do.
It's like they got to let everyone know. Oh,
People
don't worry,
are still
I'm
doing
vaccinated.
I do have some people say that.
And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm happy for
All
you,
right, buddy.
Sure, yeah. I don't know what to say. Like, I mean, I wasn't worried.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
Yeah, that's the best. Not being fearful, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
What I'm fearful for though is when summer's over and the new fear is going to be advertised as the variant, because that's what I'm concerned about. That I'm concerned about winter, how it's going to look like. Like we're flourishing right now in the summer because it's great. All of us are tired, exhausted, the ones who work. And I just don't know what the rest of after summer looks like. And that as business owners, I'm really nervous about that.
Yeah, but most people there's no more, the congregating in public kind of slowly dissipates the more you get toward winter. So maybe that will help too.
Yeah, but you know what?
No.
Like the flu, all sicknesses are worse in the winter because it forces people indoors.
Right. Okay.
So every place that they're congregating is indoors together in close quarters.
Sense.
So I don't think that's necessarily going to help.
That's true.
In the summer, you can at least go gather outdoors.
Oh yes. What is it? Gather? You can't gather anymore for Thanksgiving. What is Cuomo going to be around for all this, or he's going to be like shipped off?
Hey, can we first off just recognize?
Yes. What are we going to recognize?
I don't know.
What should we?
He's just. I like I said, like 2 months ago, I can't be fair in evaluating Cuomo. I can't.
No.
Like but I've been saying for a long time that he should be gone. The one thing that I'll say about what's going on with him right now is I don't want him to resign, because I do want him to endure an impeachment process before he's removed forcibly from office. I don't want him to leave on his own terms.
Right.
Because I think that all those people that were affected by him deserve to have to be heard.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
And the fact that all you get from all these congressmen in our state is a letter. He should really resign. Like, and that's it. And they're not pushing for it.
The Democrats don't want, as much as they might want him gone.
They don't really want him gone.
But even if they do, take it at face value for a second that they want him gone, right? Pretend that they want him gone. They don't want an impeachment, because an impeachment means a lot of truth coming out.
That's true.
And they don't want that black eye on the Democratic Party of New York.
Good point.
And that's something that will happen if they impeach.
And I think they did it the right way. Honestly, I hate when we say someone's guilty and instantly, and they went through the process. They did they did it right.
Yep.
Yeah. And I agree, he shouldn't have resigned at first, because everyone we're supposed to give everyone their day in court. Like, everyone's supposed to get a chance to prove their innocence. And yeah, it didn't go well. So, and he said multiple times, these tweets don't age well. That he was with the Kavanaugh case, he's like, why are we taking Kavanaugh? Anybody that's been accused of sexually assaulting someone should not hold a position. And it's like,
bro,
what happened? It's like, I that's why I always say, careful what you say, it might come back for you. So
I also think that it could be a big distraction right now. It's giving us that moment of for all the people that are well, I don't agree with Cuomo, that he's being he's being reckoned with, you know what I mean?
Right.
For all these things that we didn't agree with. And I think that it could just completely get swept under the rug. Just they still bring up the Hillary emails from a decade ago, you know what I mean? Those emails and stuff. So I kind of feel it's kind of maybe a distraction. That's part, unfortunately. Hopefully.
Do you really think that they let anything be the focus unless it's distracting?
No.
That's
Everything's about distract and divide and conquer.
That's true.
If all of us just were together and we outnumber everybody,
right,
in those positions.
Yep.
So, but if keep us into the two-party system, yeah, we're all good. We'll stay divided.
Right.
I don't want to focus on COVID all morning, but
no.
One other thing, I had a conversation with somebody asking me, they were saying something about that they were using human DNA to genetically modify pigs, and then they brought up something else about, oh, do you think it was the bats, or do you think it was they're just trying to get an idea of what I thought was the source of all this. And I said, I don't know. It could be that it is what they say it is. Mm-hmm. It could be that it's the opposite of what they say it is. It could be anything. And we've gotten to a point where you can't trust anything that's coming from the upper level of government or media, right, unless things like that isn't right in front of you. There's no way to know. There's no way to know. The only thing that you can really focus on is small stuff that's right in front of you, and
right.
Mm-hmm.
If you evaluate it for yourself.
As fresh as it gets.
Does it have a friend on top of it too?
I love Friends.
No.
You don't like Friends?
Yes.
You do like
Where
Friends.
Where are these ants coming from?
Fresh as it gets.
I don't know what's going on.
Want my water with a side of protein.
Hey, it's
Whatever.
organic.
Yeah. What do you have to do to certify an ant as organic?
I don't know. Not nuke the soil, that's for sure.
That's a start.
It's a good start. Not nuke our oceans.
That's too late.
Have you ever looked at the map of that? We talk about
all the nukes?
Yeah.
Where they've bombed.
Where they've literally bombed our Earth.
Yeah.
And yet we're responsible for throwing a wrapper on the ground.
Right.
I'm shut up.
By the way, don't throw rappers on the ground.
But don't nuke the oceans.
Ice-T would be pissed if you threw him on the ground. He carries. Do not throw wrappers on the ground. I've seen wrappers; they're hard.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that's so funny. When I was hiking yesterday, this little girl's tweaking out. And she's like, I dropped something. I'm thinking like, she's like, it's a piece of plastic. I thought it was off of her phone, and she's like, no, I just don't want to litter. And I'm like, I'm gonna keep walking because I don't even know what's going on over here. Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%. Say
100%.
Oh yeah. Well, what's
100%.
that?
Yeah, no,
It
we're
looks
good.
like an ice cube,
Yeah,
Nice.
that's nice.
but it might be a
Yeah.
disguise.
All right, we're good.
Welcome back, Jesse.
Here,
Yeah.
ready to go.
So, no, good talk, guys. That was good. We could wrap up the.
We were talking about bombing the hell out of the planet just
Yeah.
for the fun of it, like not even to try to hurt anybody. just
Half
for
of the
fun
nukes
it.
that have gone off as nuclear tests have been in the oceans.
for research.
It's a lot of nukes.
What?
A lot. Go look up the map of it. It's crazy.
Phil, look up the map.
There's a lot
You
of
can
there a
even
map?
you can even go on YouTube and they have a whole map that they show each an individual place where it's been on the whole
map of
globe.
nukes.
Map of
How many
Map of
times is that one?
Dukes
been?
County.
Why are we looking
And
up Rhode
Google.
Island? So
Every nuke that's went off, I think it's like I don't remember how many it is.
I
I
think
feel,
that's
like, I feel like it might be
nuclear
2,000
facilities.
nukes that have gone off. Like
2000
that we know of or something?
nukes?
yeah,
Well, in Russia, they just blow them up right
it's
in the
crazy.
freaking middle of
Why
the
is it
tundra.
2017?
Here, I'll
Let me
look
get
it up.
my-
Kinda
on my
is-
phone.
Ooh, World War III. Look at that. That's cool. I mean, except for the part where it's not.
Here we go.
What am I looking for? Map of where nukes.
Every nuke.
Every
detonated.
nuke. So you said mostly it was in oceans, though.
I said half.
Half
Half have been in the oceans.
of them in the oceans.
There you go. A time lapse map of every nuclear explosion since 1945, and it has the whole thing laid out, and it's like it's crazy, and it just keeps.
There you go. What? Ah.
And it just shows each one.
Boom. Boom.
Oh, it's like near Australia.
Oh, it's everywhere.
China.
I like how we have like little like musical things of the bombings.
So yeah, it's 2,000. So like 1,000 have gone off on our oceans, basically.
Jesus.
Wow,
I think.
interesting.
That seems like a great idea.
Yeah.
There you go.
Combat.
Combat weapon development
And
or
other.
other. I wonder what the other is.
I want to know.
2,053 nuclear explosions.
Wow.
So Russia has a lot of the others.
Yes, they do.
They do.
Have you noticed that?
Do you think that
Others.
the others are just accidents?
Accidents. Yeah, I was going to say accidents.
Oops.
You pressed the button too early.
A lot of hydrogen.
I'll never forget that when I was reading, I don't know who it was, if it was the New York Times or the Washington Post or who it was, when they said Joe Biden was staring down Vladimir Putin to intimidate him.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, Vladimir Putin would snap Joe Biden in half in a second. Like, there's
Yes,
nothing
he's not
intimidating about Joe Biden to Putin. Putin's like, dude, like, I was in the KGB. Stop it. Like, what are you doing?
I'm like just flabbergasted at
Uh,
some of the things that Biden says. I'm just like, how does he get away with this?
Sam, we've known this though. Sam,
Oh my God.
he's made a whole career on gaffes.
I'm not a Trump supporter. Don't get me wrong, but like
What is he even saying?
he's making Trump look just as like they're
No, but
equally as horrible.
It's been known, like when Obama chose him as his running mate
It's a big
back in
fucking
what,
big-
like 08, everybody
Yeah.
said, "Oh, he's gonna sink him because he's just gonna make all these gaffes nonstop." Like everybody knows, for the past 50 years of politics for this guy, because
Yeah.
he spent 50 years in politics.
it's a long
All he
time.
does is say dumb stuff. That's all he does.
Mm.
Somehow he gets away with it. I wonder if it's got to do with something green.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing is, and this is why Trump got thrown in, is because of the career politicians. And it's like everyone's like, yeah, let's throw a monkey wrench in there and see what the hell happens, right?
And it
Like,
worked.
Yeah, it's just like
it does make for good entertainment.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
does.
at that point, it was like everyone was just sick of the politicians, right? I mean, that,
Let's put
and then
somebody
we're
up there
right
that
back to it.
might accidentally tell the truth every once in a while.
Or say some outlandish shit. Like one or the other will take it. No, it's crazy to think like how long the main thing I was looking at was how much money these people make. Like you look at their salaries and then you just always like see how much money, and it's like, where did they become a millionaire in between having a, I don't know, what I mean, half of them, what's their salary? It's like $200,000 or something
Mhm.
like that, and all of them are millionaires. Not all of them. The majority of them are millionaires after they're done, and it's like, why aren't we talking about that? Like,
Yeah.
how did the Clintons go from
Arkansas.
nothing to being? Wait, I shouldn't suicide myself. We'll leave that
Arkansas.
alone.
Don't
It's
do
called
that.
Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas.
Truth.
I did not suicide myself. I'm just putting that out there right now. So,
Choose life in spite of everything.
yeah.
I got a question for you,
Viktor
Phil.
Frankl.
Okay, so
Oh.
I think we were sort of like touching on this last time that we talked, but so this is my only thing with the libertarian like mindset. Like it seems like a lot of libertarians don't necessarily have an option for taking care of people, like and helping, like hand up, like the mainstream ones at least.
Right.
And obviously, I think that that's an individual choice. Like, so I agree with that.
What do you mean?
To go and help your neighbor, that should be an individual choice. So like that part of it I agree with.
Yeah.
Like you have to like, you shouldn't be forced to pay money for people. So
Right.
what is do you have anything with the libertarian stance on like love thy neighbor and
Benevolence.
help the widows and the orphans, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Anybody that knows me kind of has an idea where I stand on that, because I don't think that any of us should be forced to do any of that.
No.
But I think we should be encouraged to. I think
Absolutely.
we should do it. It's you don't, if it's a good idea, you don't have to be forced to do it, you know?
Mhm.
Well, some people do.
No. Enough people, if it's a good idea, enough people will think it's a good idea that they'll do it. Whether like everybody won't do it. And that's okay. Everybody doesn't have to do it.
But enough will probably do
But
it.
enough will do it, 'cause it's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Hope so.
You have no faith in mankind.
No, Jesus, I've seen them at their worst.
Let me ask you a question. So you don't think that people are like have enough agency, have enough within themselves to just govern themselves?
So here's the problem. I think most people will do what they have to do to take care of themselves, and that's, I don't know if it comes down to it, no one's going to give up what they have for someone else. We've seen it. Like when back in the day during the Depression, people thrived, other people didn't, and no one was giving anything up. No one was like, hey, this family's starving, so let's give them a couple of our chickens. They're like, no, we're holding our chickens just in case. You know, it's just one of those things.
from that pool of people, we're going to pick people to make decisions for all the rest of us.
The pool of what people? Of the...
You don't think that everybody can make the right decisions for themselves, but from that group of people who can't make the right decisions for themselves, we're going to select our representatives.
Right.
Well, I mean, I didn't come up with that idea. That's what we do. I mean, but at the end of the
That's
day,
what we think we do.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying I've seen humanity at its worst. I mean,
And then we're going to have the people who can't make decisions for themselves select from the people who can't make decisions for themselves which ones are going to make decisions for the rest of us.
I was a corrections officer. Okay.
Okay.
I seen people at their worst. Then I became a code enforcement officer. As a code enforcement officer, I see people fight over inches every single day. Fight over a neighbor stepping on their grass.
Jeez.
Fight over a dock that got moved because of the lake and is on their property, and now they want to take legal action instead of calling their neighbor to move it for them.
I see.
People are horrible, and they only care about themselves. At the end of the day, most people that I've seen doing these things, everyone usually picks themselves first. They'll always be like, well, this is for me.
I think that's human nature.
And if I don't step up and do this, then they're going to walk all over me, and I'm not going to allow that. I'm going to do what I have to do for me. And that's why I don't think people really...
that's why we have civil suits. Like it,
and they're prevalent all over.
Mhm.
And that's like the moneymaker. So I don't know. That's like, I see people fighting over the smallest stuff, and I'm like, so how are these people ever going to help other people out?
That's why we have contracts, because there's no trust.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I wouldn't want to work with somebody where I have to have a contract. I would want to just be able to shake a hand with somebody
Right.
and be like, I trust you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Look
If you want out of this, then get out of it, because I don't want to work with you anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
look at energy. Look at people. You go on like I love Cuca Lake or I love Seneca Lake. They're like, I don't want fossil. I don't want anyone fracking. I don't want gas. I don't want oil. And first thing somebody tries to put a windmill or solar panels near their house, well, they're not going there. Mm-hmm. They can't be. I don't want them there. Well, that ruins my view, my property value. It's like, but just the other day, you had a problem with gas and oil and fracking and this and that. And it's like, people only want to do better when it doesn't directly affect them.
You're talking about vice. You're literally talking about people operating in vice versus virtue. Virtue is like a choice to go above and beyond, where you not only are you like, vice benefits only you.
Right.
You're like, I'm going to start this company and I'm going to walk over people and pollute or do whatever you need to do to make money for you. And you can stack your dollars that way. But then if you operate in virtue, you're like, how can I help other people?
Right.
And then everybody like benefits from that.
Yeah, but so it's the fake virtue. It's the people that pretend they care. But as soon as it affects them, they don't care that much.
Right.
And that's why I don't think people will help each other.
I think there are people, though, that do have that.
We're already doing it.
I think that there are people who choose to do that
since the beginning of time.
I'm not saying you're wrong, though. I think that I think what he's saying is like, unfortunately, our fractured like soul, like of mankind, which is that like we are always looking out for ourselves first, which is kind of natural, right? Like, you got to make sure that you're surviving, right? But I do think that a lot of people live in fear, and I think that we have media that preys on it, and we have schools that don't teach us to think, and so therefore, I mean, what's the percentage of people that are living in anxiety every day? I mean, on psychotropic drugs, and
right.
So you have to look at like this whole state of mind. Like go to another country, go to like Africa, go to these places where they don't even have as much, and they like just shut down shop and take a nap. You know what I mean? Like we're kind of messed up here. It's not really.
I don't think the U.S. is horrible. Like, I mean, for me,
we've just been indoctrinated to believe that the only way to get anything done, whether it's good or not, is through the government. And that's not true. It's just not true.
Sure. Hey, listen, I never said I'm right. This is just the way people think. And I
think you are right, though, to some degree. I'm not saying you're wrong. I think that it's our human nature. I think that we have to choose. And we have to have like a heart change, like, right? And we have to be like, all right, well, I'm going to choose to benefit others. You know what I mean? To be a beneficial presence to other people.
And here's the problem. If we knew we were right, and if somebody actually had a good idea, it probably would be happening. And the problem is there's just so many, everything sounds great until you get to a point.
Sure.
It's like the thing, like Phil talks about.
Takes sacrifice.
Like drugs, like just full legalizing. And I see where he's coming from. But then a part of me, I always go, and maybe I'm one of those people. What about the kids? What about the kid whose dad is overdoses on the couch and then they have to see that? Or what about, and it still happens, but what happens when it becomes a regular thing and you're not held legally?
Like alcoholism?
Sure. There you go. I mean, yeah, people do that. That happens. But the problem is how many times in Penn have you heard of people dying from overdosing on alcohol compared to being Narcan back to life here? There's way more Narcan than you find somebody dead from drinking. And it's just like, I don't know how much
drinking and driving. Like people don't die from drinking and driving all the time.
Yeah. But driving, and that's a horrible decision.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the drugs and driving or any of that stuff is. So I'm always worried about like if you legalize things and there's better access to it. I just worry about it.
False. Absolutely false. With drugs being illegal, it makes it more
appealing.
Not only more appealing, but it makes it more likely that those kids are going to end up with drugs themselves. Because if I go to a dispensary to buy marijuana, I'm going to know what I'm buying, and I'm going to buy it legally. I'm going to be an adult. The person who's selling it to me is only going to have marijuana. If I go buy marijuana illegally, I'm going to get it from a drug dealer who has heroin in their pocket.
Or a pharmacist.
And has no problem selling it to an 8-year-old. Well, maybe 8-year-old. But they have got no problem selling it to a 15-year-old who's going to give it to a 12-year-old.
Probably not. No, and again,
that doesn't happen if it's legal. It doesn't happen if it's legal.
I think about things, and I don't know. I guess I worry about it.
Look at the countries. Look at the countries where it's not criminal. their drug problems have gone down. They treat it as a public health issue. Their drug problems have gone down. Less people are in jail for drugs. People are able to get rehab for drugs. People are able to they get off drugs because they don't end up in prison for however long, where they get even more drugs.
Right. Yeah. Hey,
I think it stems from fear. We can't make it I think it'd be kind of a good idea to legalize it. And then like you were saying, let's see how it turns out. But the fact that there's fear, we're holding back from that now. I mean, what are the states that are illegal? And they're doing well, right?
No, it's not marijuana.
They're doing great.
We're not talking about marijuana.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Even
you think I'm against marijuana?
Well, I was kind of confused.
No. I'm talking about heroin.
Wait a minute. We want to legalize heroin?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm not talking about marijuana.
No.
I think I'm with you.
Should be legal.
I'm with Phil. We have
I'm not saying people should do it.
No.
It's just like what we were talking about a minute ago, like doing good things. I think that it should be legal. I don't think people should use it.
Oh.
Just like, and I'll just say this, and maybe I'll get canceled. I don't care.
But don't get canceled.
But I don't agree with abortion. But I can't see myself saying to a woman, that's I should be able to rule over your body.
Right.
Like, so I think that it has to be
a choice.
Absolutely
A choice.
a choice.
Bingo.
Like, they can go into the forest, they can get that coat hanger.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring it there.
Don't do that. But and then
but no, it's you got to rule over yourself.
Yeah,
we can't rule over people. Like, we have to enable people to make their own decisions.
You have to look at places where it is legal. Look at Portugal as an example. Netherlands is I think Netherlands is legal.
I believe you're right.
Anyway, in some of those countries where they've changed the way that they look at it, now these people can go to the police station and ask for help and not end up in prison. Okay. And so it gives them an escape route. It gives them it just makes it so that they don't have to have the fear. They don't have to do it where they're going to die behind closed doors. It changes the situation. So it's a health issue, and they can treat it as an addiction rather than as a crime.
Right.
Okay.
As a disease.
Could work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it does work. It's not being used here, but it works in the places where it's being used. The other thing with marijuana specifically, since that's a topic of interest right now in New York, is there was a study, and I don't have it in front of me, but there was a study that I was looking at that they found that neighborhoods that had a dispensary had 20% less crime. And think about the revenue that those things generate, both for I never look at the tax money argument because I think taxation is theft, but it does generate some revenue for the municipalities. In addition to that, think about, like, that's not a minimum wage job. You're going to have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 families that are going to really thrive from that type of business.
Yeah.
And they're going to take care of the street. They're going to take care of their building. It's not going to be a place where it's not going to bring in the seedy element. It's going to be a high class kind of joint.
At least seen,
so to speak.
I was gonna. Yeah.
Everyone's for marijuana. It seems like it hasn't been outlawed anywhere yet. So I don't think anyone's worried about marijuana.
When do you see anybody high as a kite get in a bar fight? You know what I mean?
Never.
Never.
Nope. That's never happened. No.
Maybe the other drugs, though.
I'll honestly
and everybody
say,
who's locked up needs to be let out, like, for any marijuana crimes.
Oh, okay. All right.
This.
I was like, careful,
Today.
Sam.
Today. Yeah.
Careful.
And that's a thing that when we knew that
That's
when we knew Trump was leaving office, I said that was one of the things he could do to kind of redeem himself a little bit. Is he could pardon everybody that's in prison for crimes that didn't involve a victimless type situations. We got 2.3 million people. 2.3 million people incarcerated in the United States, and a huge portion of them are from marijuana and other things that had no victim.
Now, isn't New York doing something with that? Didn't they? They're gonna let everyone out that had a marijuana charge or lessen the sentence. It was like one of the things they were working on.
I think that's part of this law.
Yeah,
to do something with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely silly.
Yep.
I can't believe it. So I don't think see, marijuana to me doesn't certain. I mean, and where do you pick which drugs, right? It's like, yeah,
Well, yeah,
pick
that's-
this, like pick this. This is okay. This one's not. I mean,
All.
really, yeah. So it's tough to say.
Freedom.
But
If you're an adult, decide for yourself.
You can't stop somebody from killing themselves. Like,
right.
if they're gonna go kill themselves, they're gonna go kill themselves. I think it's very sad, but
Yeah.
Tough to say. I mean, really, I don't know. I think the problem is we'll see a state will do it. One state will completely legalize it, and we'll see how it goes from there. And I don't think it'll be New York.
Interesting to see.
But,
It really would be interesting to see. I wonder.
It's already they decriminalized hard drugs in Oregon.
did they?
Yeah, Oregon.
I did not see that.
Yeah, they did a law, 110 or something.
We're just jumping all over the map.
yeah, we're
Yes.
new
Measure
We are.
drugs.
There we go.
Yeah, in 2020, Oregon voters passed by referendum Measure 110, the Drug Addiction Treatment and Recovery Act. So it redirected the law enforcement money toward rehab and recovery for people that were addicted to drugs. I haven't seen yet. Here we go. 2 days ago, Oregon decriminalized all drugs to stop overdoses. Will it work? It's now a $100 infraction
Wow.
that can be dismissed with a call to a drug abuse assessment hotline.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with this.
So far, only 29 people ticketed for possession have placed that call.
So anybody can possess drugs, right? Is that what I'm hearing or not? So you can possess
Yeah.
any
For $100
substance.
ticket.
So they give you a ticket if you have heroin on you.
Yeah.
Yep, $100.
Interesting.
Or you can just call rehab or call a drug assessment hotline.
Interesting.
Third largest addiction problem in the nation, but 47th in addiction treatment access. Wow. So, well, hopefully this will help change that for them.
Yeah.
It's a great way of looking at it and trying to fix a problem outside the box.
Yeah, it's something different. It lowers the barrier to people getting out of drug addiction,
Right.
especially the major barrier of knowing that if you call an ambulance, you might end up in prison for 3 years.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So again, going back to fear yet again and trying to seek and understand and do good.
Mm-hmm.
What a concept.
It'll be
Wow.
It'll be interesting to see, really. So, I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you can go back to your house and you don't have to personally deal with it, I guess it's it's not that big of a deal. I just always worry about the people that can't, defend themselves, like kids. Like that's always. I just would hate to see, and it's the same thing with alcohol. Like I think it's horrible. Like kids that grow up with an alcoholic parent, like and the shit they go through, and I mean, I think it all sucks. So I wish there was a better way we could handle that. And that's all I think is like legalize. It's going to just open it up more. Like
Yeah.
more people will be shitty parents. And I don't know if that's true. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's
So-
based on fear, but it's not. I mean, look at these kinds of programs, though, where those people are going to do heroin, whether it's legal or not.
Right.
These people
Yeah.
are going to drink alcohol, whether it's legal or not. They're going to smoke marijuana, whether it's legal or not. The
They're
only
going to go
question
shoot
is,
people, whether it's legal.
are you going to remove
have a gun or not?
Are you going to remove a parent from a family because of it? Are you going, and maybe, are you going to give them an opportunity to recover from it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to,
not
Right.
just cancel someone out and try to help?
yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to help people or are we going to punish people?
Yeah. No, it's going to be, I think
Different, completely
Oregon
different way of
doing
looking
this
at it.
is going to give us all an eye. If it works, I guess you establish it, but
It's kind of like, maybe I'm flipping it too much, but it's like I heard somebody once say, like, it's just a different way of thinking, but it's like there's a lot of people that like hate the billionaires and millionaires, you know what I mean? But they don't really necessarily love the poor. You know what I mean? You can hate millionaires and billionaires, but you can not love the poor. You know what I mean? So it's like a mindset change. All of these things that we're talking about.
Absolutely.
yeah, I just, as long as you implement it small and then, you see what could go wrong, and then it's like you make it
Learn
better
from that.
until you go big. I mean,
That's the perfect That's the perfect reason for the United States current structure, is that the states can be kind of like little like tests.
Yes.
You know, Oregon's a test. They're going to try one thing. We're going to try something else. Texas will try something else.
New York City will try something else.
And if something works great, yeah, New York City will do their own fucking thing. Pardon the French.
Fuck New York City. I'm never going back.
No,
I will never go back to New York City.
But do you guys think the U.S.? I mean, you got to like wake up and think like it's pretty good. Like I feel like fortunate and lucky every day. Like we're pretty. Like how many? Can you imagine like China, a show like ours, just saying whatever we want? Like it would be, the right person here's you're probably gone. I mean, I think we're pretty lucky. We have the right to protest. I mean, how many countries do you see that you can turn on TV and everyone's protesting? Like,
oh my god,
and without actually getting bombed by their own country.
Much going
Have you
on.
watched the news?
Yeah, and they're getting
so much protest.
They're getting
going on.
killed. They're getting these protests in other countries. People are getting killed. Like
people get killed in protests here.
Have
you seen?
They get hurt. People get hurt.
Come
here.
on,
the same.
Come on. How short is your memory? Did you see all the protests last year? That like cop cars driving through crowds in some situations, non-cop cars driving through crowds in some situations, people, shooting into crowds.
We're not sending the army after our people that are protesting, though. We're not like bombing them.
We're tear
using
gassing
mustard gas. Like we're not trying to actually kill them.
People are getting hurt in protests, though.
We're sending the National Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is happening.
I mean, I think
we're sending the police, which is,
they try to
militarized enough that they're probably the largest military, one of the largest militaries in the world.
I think they try to like make it, because if you're protesting in the middle of a road, no one can get through. I think that's when it causes problem. But all of us can go right now and stand on the street, and as long as we're peaceful, no one, like, why would anyone care? You're not bothering anyone. You have the right to say whatever you want. I think it's pretty lucky.
I think maybe you should explore other people, because I've known some people who've been peaceful protests and they have gotten injured. So
really, okay,
it does happen.
I think there's some truth to what you're saying as far as just like appreciating what we do have.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
But
absolutely.
I think that our bar is a little low right now, and I think it's not too long before we don't even have a bar, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
we've definitely compromised on our values as a nation over the past 200 years, 250 years. Like, we've really compromised.
Yeah. I just think, I guess maybe I'm more fortunate than most. I don't know. Like,
you are.
Oh, we probably all of us are,
Yeah. So I just, I start my own company. Like, I work for a town that works, like, everyone I work with, I love. Like, I'm just like pretty happy, like everything. And yeah, there was some work to it, but it's like, it's so cool that I was able to do what I wanted. Like,
and you're your own boss.
I do kind of what I want. And
yeah.
And because I wanted to. Like, how many places can you just like do what you want without without, like, you wake up every day and I'm like, man, maybe I want steak and eggs for breakfast. Like, maybe today I just want to sit around, drink beer and like not do anything.
How much was your permit to distill?
Like $800 for 3 years.
And then, how much is the tax?
Yeah, there's a high liquor tax, like 23% in the dollar. So.
And what about inspections?
Nothing.
Well, building inspections, nothing.
No.
What about what if you just sold what you wanted to?
What do you mean?
You're saying like limited freedom on this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could have more freedom, but
he's showing gratitude for what he has right now,
Yeah.
and I think that's fair.
yeah.
I mean, we should all show gratitude.
I think we're pretty lucky.
Yeah.
It's just not perfect. It could be better.
What you're saying,
and it could be an awful lot worse.
And what you're
I agree
saying-
with you. It could be an awful lot worse.
I'm like right in between both of you on this, because also we should, this is where that personal choice comes in, to live in virtue and help others flourish, and not like create something that's going to harm others. So should we be forced to have all these codes? You know what I mean? Or it's a very tough issue, because like we don't want to poison people. We don't want, you know what I mean? So,
well, the libertarians have a wonderful thing that is the one thing that we all agree on. It's called the non-aggression principle. And if you cause harm to somebody, then you're violating that. If you do something that hurts others, if you steal from somebody, if you assault them, if you give them bad booze and it makes them sick,
Right.
then you're violating the non-aggression principle. That's the one thing that we all agree on.
I just hope that I'm not gonna go there. We already went there.
Yeah.
And the other thing, by the way, back to the benevolence thing, is that it's not like that's even just a little bit of a red herring, because it's just human nature. People are going to do good things for each other. It's kind of a done deal that that's going to happen. They're wonderful organizations like Millie's Pantry to make sure that all the kids in Yates County get fed and get school supplies, and all they have to do is ask.
Yep.
And you know, they've got great support. You've got the outlet trail that's all most of it's just all done by volunteers and donors and things like that, that you don't have to have some like umbrella for that.
Yeah.
But if you have a real libertarian in government on a like upper level, right? What you're looking at is everybody brings up the things that are scary, that are like fear-mongery stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're going to take away our welfare, our Social Security, our Medicare, those things, because those are like things that scare people. They're used as wedge issues to scare people. The things that a libertarian would likely attack first, if they were in that role, aren't anything like that. It's nothing to do with that. They'd go after things like corporate welfare. They'd go after like immoral foreign interventions. Like we could take the massive portion of our federal budget that goes toward bombing people in the Middle East and probably redirect that toward helping make sure the kids get fed.
Yeah.
Helping make sure the roads everybody wants their roads. Everybody wants those things. It's like, we're not going to get rid of those tomorrow. It'd be nice if we could find alternate solutions for those things that don't involve taxes. But at the same time, if we could just cut your taxes down by 20% or 30% or 50% or 70% and take away,
that sounds great.
You know what I'm saying? And just get rid of, and just stop buying so many goddamn bombs with it.
But if you cut down the taxes, that means people would be flourishing more out of what they make, and therefore be more grateful. And I think that a lot more people would be giving.
Absolutely.
I really truly believe that.
I think
part of being a good steward.
I think the majority of Americans probably would love less taxes. I mean, I can't believe anyone likes them, and maybe they do.
And you give the government money right now.
I would be a lot more giving,
and they're gonna buy a bomb.
Right.
People say, okay, well, what if we try to get out of the wars, and we try to like get more money toward public works projects and things like that? It's like, that's great, but it's kind of like giving your money to, and no offense to homeless people, because I trust them a lot more than I trust the government, but it's like giving $20 to a homeless guy and expecting him and saying, please
go get a sandwich.
Go get a sandwich.
Yeah.
Seriously, a sandwich. Like, we kind of know where the guy's probably going to go. It's probably not going to be a sandwich.
You know what's
like,
funny? I used to be a messenger in Chicago, and every block had like your homeless person on it. And they had this magazine called Streetwise, which is a free publication for like tourists and stuff. And they'd be selling Streetwise magazines for $2. Like Streetwise, like, you know, but anyway, like
entrepreneur.
It was like a different character on each block, like when I'd be delivering these packages.
Brilliant.
And this one guy, like they had, I forget where it was, but I think it was Squirt, like the company Squirt, that soda.
Yeah.
They had this new flavor, and it was like a diet, like flavored soda, and they were just giving out cans. And I was like, oh, well, all my homies at the office love soda. I don't do soda, but I put them in my thing. I was done delivering. And then I see this homeless guy's, man, I'm hungry. I want some, you know, and I was like, oh, you thirsty? Like, and soda, so I just gave him a soda. He's like, but it's diet.
Oh,
and I was like,
no way.
But then he's like, oh, thanks, man. Like,
right.
But it's diet. Come on,
bro.
Sam, you gotta do better than that.
I know. I should have done better for you.
Yeah. I mean, that's too bad. You know, I think everyone should try to appreciate what they get. So
I think we should let's just do better. Be better.
In this comment that
build back better.
White people don't get killed. Boy, have you? So I was thinking about this yesterday, and history majors, let me know what's going on with this. Since World War II, since the Germans, other than Kosovo, have we bombed any other white populations
Well,
I don't think so.
well, all their scientists came here and
Right.
started NASA. Werner von
But
Braun.
no, I mean, like since World War II has been over, have we bombed any white countries other than Kosovo?
No, because what we've been doing is we've been taking over every single country that had a non-centralized bank,
Right.
and we've been converting them over to the centralized bank. And right now we have 2 left, and they're our enemies. They're Iran and North Korea. Ooh,
Mhm.
enemies.
Okay,
I didn't know about. Okay, Sam, wait, go a little deeper on this.
Well,
what,
I mean,
what is this?
We'll go back to Mujahideen, which became Al Qaeda.
Afghanistan.
All those nations. So
We
when
gave them a lot of stingers. By the
So
way.
go back to the Gulf War. The Gulf War was all about the oil, and it was all
Right.
Saddam was our enemy because like we were the benchmark in oil, and he took that away from us.
Mhm.
Like he sold his in euros or whatever it was I forget what it was. I don't remember. He took his oil off the U.S. dollar, which he was immediately our enemy. So
I thought it was just because he tried to invade Kuwait.
no, because if you follow,
Phil, do you mean that, or are you being serious?
no,
I'm serious.
Oh, I didn't know
so-
if you were being.
And I'm
sarcastic.
I'm not gonna be able to give you the exact, but we can talk about this later. I'll find the paperwork on this. But one of our representatives from the United Nations or wherever it was like, we have no, like, this is before Kuwait, said to him, like, we have no quarrels with like your Middle Eastern conflicts, like basically giving him permission to do whatever he wanted. So this is like on record, like. And then he invades Kuwait, and now he's our enemy. You know what I mean? So no, not at all. And what happened was Kuwait, like, boom, bank, like all these places that we went to go attack. You know, it was all Middle Eastern, and then you have 9/11, and well, that's a whole nother can of worms. But a lot of the same key players, and you fast forward to when I moved here was 2011. I believe in 2011 there were 4 countries that didn't have a central bank that was connected to the entire, one world operative, if you want to call it that. And what happened in 2011 was Libya, and Libya was Gaddafi. Do you know much about Gaddafi? Like about his infrastructure? They were completely self-reliant.
Yeah,
like it was
pretty
amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and he was not like this evil. Anyway, so we took him over in 2011, and I think Cuba was the last one we took over. So now we're down to 2 more.
Interesting.
And now we got this blockchain technology. We got these
Scary,
Bitcoins. Right? We got these vaccines. And I'm not trying to be an
crypto
alarm.
scares.
I'm
the
not
shit
trying
out
to
of them.
alarm anybody. I'm just trying to say, like, shit.
Shit.
Crypto scares the shit out of these people.
It's fucked. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, there's a lot more we could talk about it in regard to like the war on terror and the Patriot Acts and
I haven't
the Gulf
heard
War
anything about
and
the
all the it has
That's
everything to do with the banks. It always has. Like, follow the money.
Yeah.
It's always about money. I mean, let's be serious. Money and power.
Like
Power.
even like last time you were bringing up Brexit, which by the way, I hadn't even heard about Brexit for years.
Oh.
Right.
Like till you brought it up. So I was like, well, I don't know if I have time for that.
Right.
was more so like I didn't hear, and I did do a little bit of like brushing up on like what just happened with them, but I think it's all facade. Like they're controlled by the banks. You know what I mean? Like they have the bank that owns like here we are on 4th of July and we're still attached to the British bank. Like, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just rabbiting.
Ooh, tell us about the Federal Reserve.
Oh, that it's not federal and it has no reserves? Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
I remember when Jesse first learned about that.
Yeah, that was my good friend's a history teacher at Dundee High School, and Phil and him got on some topics, and I was just like sitting there, and I'm a couple Miller Lights deep, but I'm trying to keep up, and I'm like, whoa, like, mind blown. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is an interesting
so we
conversation.
control the money. Okay, just show us your receipts. No, seriously, let us see your records. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the Federal Reserve works.
That's pretty scary.
Like,
Well, yeah, you can't know who its shareholders
they
are.
need to be audited. We need to audit the Federal Reserve.
You can't. And they own everything.
You can't.
They own the
because
military.
they just say no.
The military is there to protect the banks, and they fund both sides of every fucking war.
Yep.
Crazy to think about. Things you don't learn, right? It's not something they teach you in school.
No, they're not going to teach you that.
Yeah.
Why would they?
They're not going to.
They're not going to tell you where they get the supply.
They're going to turn you into an ass or an elephant. That's what they're going to do.
Yep.
Yeah. No, too bad. That's cool. That's an interesting topic. Banks.
Yeah.
So
Banks.
So it's the golden rule. It's whoever has the gold makes the rules. That's how it operates.
They don't need gold anymore,
But they have most of it.
but they don't need it.
now you got Bitcoin.
They just say, "Here's more. We just printed more. See,
well, that was one of the things.
it's got nothing.
That's
to do
what they
with
do
gold."
in these wars. They take all the gold.
Right.
They confiscate it from these countries, and they actually have the true wealth. Like,
Right.
And I say they because none of us really knows who they are. Like, they don't want to be known. Like, we're here. We got Billionaire Magazine. We're like, where's Trillionaire Magazine? Like, well, they're off the books. Like, we're sitting here. We're divided and conquered over this facade of billionaires. Like, we're blaming all the billionaires for things. It's like, dude, they're not even a fraction of what the true wealth is. Who decided that we were gonna, like, what's the earth worth? Like, that we were just gonna tax people to live here, and it's just crazy. Like, oh, we're gonna tax you on you can't grow your own food here. You can't collect rainwater. Like, it's insanity. You know what I mean?
People freak out about the value of Bitcoin. Those same people have no concept of the fact that the Federal Reserve just prints however many dollars they want based on nothing. They don't have to, like, find more gold in order to make more dollars. They just say, all right, here's some more dollars. And they actually have to at least do some math in order to get Bitcoins.
Yeah. Do you have Bitcoin?
Like a fraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have gotten into it when my buddy was telling me.
Phil
about
got
it,
into it
but
pretty early.
I was 2016. I had an option. I had an opportunity. I could have done it, but
Yeah.
I should have.
Not that early. But,
I wish.
that early, and Phil would be doing great. But,
But I also think that it's a trap. I think it's just going to trap us into this blockchain thing and ultimately be.
You don't like that? You're against the blockchain?
I'm not really into it. That's just me.
Mm.
But whatever. I just don't want, like, technology, like, ingrained in me. I don't want to become transhuman. Like, I like being human.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't want to have my DNA altered. Like, I just no, like, for real. Like, and I struggle with the cell phone even. Like, I'm like, man, I miss life before cell phones. Like, I really do.
I do too.
I have a friend who used
We're like really like we're the last frontier. They call us the Oregon Trail like generation.
Yeah.
Like, we got to witness what it was like
Yeah.
without it.
before like the internet took
It
over.
was fantastic.
It was awesome.
It was great.
I got to tell you, I used to have a friend. Well, I still have a friend, but he used to, he wouldn't download a GPS app on his phone because he thought they would use it to track him. I'm like, dude, they don't need you to download anything.
Yeah.
Like, you're carrying a microchip around with an antenna.
Yeah.
Like, they don't need you to download an app.
And I swear to God, it hears what you're saying. Like,
it does.
have you
It absolutely
ever
does.
been talking about something and you pull up like YouTube or you pull up Google and it's like one of the first things that pops up and I was like, what the hell? Like, I haven't researched this. I was just talking. Like, I'm telling you, I'm like, man, that's when you like tinfoil time. It's like, yeah, that's pretty terrifying.
It's filming you from both angles all the time. Like, it's filming 360 degrees.
You should get a little piece of tape.
And yeah, okay. I'm going to defeat the New World Order with tape. So
duct tape.
Zuckerberg does it.
Does he really?
Yeah, he
But
puts
it's
tape
like-
over his camera.
it's like anytime you're looking up something, it's like getting your
Whoa.
facial expressions. It's
That's
like reading
terrifying.
you to a degree. Like, oh, does this like stimulate their eyes? Does this, you know what I mean? Like, they got so much on you and everything that we're saying in front of these things. Like, how many times do you say something and then it pops up as an ad all the time for me?
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
like,
that's weird. I had the, like,
it's
I
not
see- I had
weird.
that happen the
It's
other
on
day.
purpose.
I feel like
So-
if I just make enough good points that I'll radicalize my federal agent.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm into that.
It's slowly working.
They'll
so.
start getting into freedom.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Like,
I'm
yeah,
going
that's
off
a
grid.
good.
I'm going into the bus,
You're
guys.
going to the bus.
be a nomad.
Why? Like that's becoming
Just
a
gotta
thing
find a
more
gypsy
and
woman
more.
now.
Like, how many people are seriously like, I just want a piece of land, middle of nowhere, and I just want to like I hear it all the time. Like everyone's like, let's.
I want to start gardening and growing my own food.
Everyone wants to.
That's going to be a lot harder with a bus.
For sure. No, well, so I have.
Are you sure, Phil?
I have some friends who have farms out in different places, and like I could go work for them.
Could
you know what I mean? When I can't work anymore at bars that won't hire me because they can't, because I don't have a vaccine, which is probably going to happen sooner than later,
don't think so.
especially
Not
in New
here.
York.
Not up
like,
here. Not up here, man. You got mine and Marianne's business.
I think
I want to be optimistic with you guys.
Keep them going, Marianne.
I mean,
But
Marianne's
Marianne, you might have to. You might turn me
think
away.
so.
well, somebody.
Sam, if it comes to that, call me.
Yeah,
We'll figure something out.
I don't think so, Sam. There's no way.
Well, what were they saying? Like the bars, not in New York City.
Yeah,
that
I could not play in New York.
No, you can't play in New York.
I can't play in New York City.
Yeah, that's
No.
true. What about? Do you think in your you could build like a little mini greenhouse or something on one side?
Ooh.
How badass! And you just
Well,
always have to
I
park
definitely
facing
want to
the
do
same-
the solar power. Like I
Yeah.
definitely want to do solar
get the
power
panels on the
top.
roof.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, why not?
Mhm.
It'd be cool. You could just do something with the windows and just like always park facing north or something.
Bus mechanic, anyone?
Still putting that out there.
Let's go.
Actually,
Bus mechanic.
Hey, Scott, Michelle, if you know somebody that can fix a bus that's up in this area, Scott's got a trucking company.
Yeah,
Like,
Scott,
Oh.
you'd have to drive it all the way down to
yeah.
Jersey.
Well, I would.
They're down in Jersey, but
Oh.
he might have some mechanics up this way.
You might know
Well,
something.
if he
never
has a
know.
mechanic up this way, I mean, I'll pay him. Just come on out,
Hey,
Victor. Like, let's go.
get the bus going. But
I just want to get it into a shop. Like,
But we
once
need
it's
to-
started, then I can get it into a shop.
it's rare sticker on the window. Don't forget,
Sure,
just like
why not?
it's got to be on.
We're
somewhere
gonna
on
have bumper
the bus.
stickers all
Yeah.
inside.
Okay.
Big ass, it's rare sticker.
A big sticker. Sam's like, wait.
We can go on it's rare tour.
There we go.
Yeah.
Do a podcast in every state. I'll do a live music performance. What up?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
What kind of bus is it again?
It's a Greyhound,
It's a
1975,
75 Greyhound.
35 foot
30.
Is it like a special model or is it just a
MCI 5.
All right.
There's your
Bam.
Boom.
Hey, if anyone's looking for a job, I need to hire someone for the wine bar.
When do you need them by?
Well, because one of my girls is bouncing out at the end of August.
Oh,
no. So I'm looking for like September, right? It's just Jesse, I don't know. But as someone who's interested in working in the kitchen or up front, I definitely need people because I can't be there every day. And Shar would like to take a vacation one day.
I would
so-
love to help you when I'm not so busy.
Right.
Um,
Well, that's the thing. Like,
And I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
if they decide, if something crazy happens in the next like 3 months, like, or a couple weeks or whatever, and I need a job,
okay.
I'll come to you.
I would appreciate that. Yeah.
Because I'm so booked right now and I'm so blessed. Like
It's
this
good time.
this money will get my bus
Yes.
up and running. So
Wow.
the next 3 months, boom.
Yeah.
So I need it. But after that, I'm not really doing much other than obviously I'm leaving in December and January. So
Right. Right.
um,
Well, I
on
think
tour.
everyone's looking for fall help right now too.
Okay.
But I'm like asking people, and like either no one's interested, or they're like, I really don't want to do it. I'm like, it's really a lot of fun working there.
you know, this is the problem. Like, I didn't get to tell you my U-Haul story. So like when I was moving, like I didn't have my parents' Mountaineer, but I have a 5x8 trailer
Mhm.
that I use for the band, and I bought it like a number of years ago. And I don't have a way to tow my trailer without my parents' car, you know? And so I decided to get a hitch put on by U-Haul.
Okay.
So they put it on my little Nissan. So I can't like haul heavy stuff, but I could haul the trailer with some smaller stuff. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Anyway, so I got that. It took forever. Like that was a nightmare because I called. You can't talk to anybody directly.
No.
Like it's
Yeah.
always this like phone service. Like,
Right.
and they don't know every location and what they have, and they think they do. And so like I had all the parts like sent to them. They're like, oh, they just don't have the tools. Like, and I'm like, what? Like, so I had to wait for them to get tools in, like to this place. And I thought it was going to be done by a certain point and it wasn't. Then I forget what the other thing was. But there was one more thing, and then I was like, well, I need to move now to Geneva. So I got a truck, and I'm one of those guys. I like to pay up front. Like
Right.
I don't like owing anything. I want to pay up front, and you can refund me later, but I want to make sure it's paid for, so I know I have it, and that's just how I operate.
Right.
And so they're like, you don't have to pay now. You just put your name down, $20 deposit. I'm like, no, I'm gonna pay the whole amount. So I paid for this U-Haul truck, and the day like after my gig, my parents were supposed to go get the truck for me and help me load it when I got done with my gig.
Right.
And I get home, no truck. Weird. This is back in April. And they're like, yeah, their internet went down, their computers went down, so they couldn't do any transactions, so they couldn't release any of the vehicles. Which to me is super problematic, society, that like we can't just like remember the carbon copies of a credit card?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or cash or whatever. Like when I used to work at Kinko's, that's what we did when the power went out. It was like, which is really problematic for Kinko's, but we would just carbon copy it. Or like when I was a server and when we do, you know what I mean? We'd add up the tax with a calculator. Like what the heck happened that we're so internet based that like, we're just asking to be like screwed over.
Absolutely.
That's funny that you bring that up, Sam.
And so that happened, and I couldn't get it, even though I paid already. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm kind of pissed off. And so I'm like, well, I guess we'll take the U-Haul, or we'll take my 5x8 with your Mountaineer and your Pilot, and we'll just do it. So we did it all ourselves, like over like a 24-hour period with like 3 or 4 trips to Geneva from Watkins Glen.
Right.
And thank God, bless my parents' souls. Oh, and Ken Endy from the Endy Brothers, he helped too. Shout outs to Ken. But so then I never got a call back. Like, mind you, I paid U-Haul up front. They said that they were going to call me later that night about just to confirm what's going on, etc. They never called that Sunday night. So I was loading all of Monday, and then Tuesday I think I was just kind of starting to unpack. Still no call. So I had to travel all the way back to that location because you can't get a hold of them and talk to them directly on the phone because you got these stupid services like lady in California, like that's like, oh, anyway. So I get there and I was like, hey, like, I just want you to know I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm very disappointed, like in the service that I've had here with the last 3 types of things that I've been trying to do. And especially with the fact on this last one that not only did I pay you up front and for this truck that was paid for that you couldn't release, but nobody called me back to refund me. You have my money still. And he's like, I'm so sorry. We are so understaffed. Right? And he's like, we have one person to fill up propane. So I try to be gracious about it, like, because it's true. Like, it's true. But dude, America's going down, bro. Like,
don't take the order if you can't fill it.
Yo.
Well,
like,
right. But I mean, for having one person that works there, holy shit.
I'll never use U-Haul again. And and I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's just like that was too many things in a row. I'm gonna be a Penske guy now. Penske? I switched teams. No, but you know, I guess if I'm in a pinch, I'd use U-Haul. But no, that's my U-Haul story. Sorry, I just had to vent a little.
Crazy.
It's
months of pent-up aggression.
Yeah, you hear that, U-Haul? You suck.
No.
U-Haul.
No, it's not
what
U-Haul.
Sucks is that
they might be a sponsor of the show someday. Careful.
I don't think so. We won't take it.
Don't take sponsorship.
I won't take your dirty U-Haul money.
It's just Sam's money.
It's just unless
Sam.
I'll take Sam's refund and get it to him.
You should just do the value for value.
Yeah.
Where like in the middle, like people produce your show, like No Agenda and Canary Cry. What they do in the middle is like if people want to support the show and help them, they read off their name and they literally list them as the producer of the show, like, and they just donate. And then you don't have any advertisements. Then you're not swayed one way or another to like defend anything, right? Like, because it's ultimately censorship.
Right.
Ultimately, that's what advertising is.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Only if you care about the money.
We would lose a sponsorship in a hurry on this show, Sam.
This sounds like a passion project, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
This show would be
I never did
dead instantly.
anything like that either. Like when I did it, it was all passion. I was like, you know what? I have the money to like keep the storage and everything, and I'm just gonna do this for the love. You know what I mean? I appreciate
Phil's
that.
put a lot of money in this, and
Now we just need a
nothing,
bus.
nothing to gain.
Oh shoot! Well, I know one.
I don't know.
And everything we say on here, none of us know. Like we're
You're
trying
thinking out loud.
we're trying to do our best.
You're thinking out loud, dude.
Sometimes we say things that aren't right. But I mean, the thing is
Canceled.
I think all of us mean well. None of us want anything bad.
No.
I mean, that's kind of the idea. Like Phil and I, like a lot of times it's just like we're talking because we want the best. Like it's not like we want the worst.
Yeah, but you guys disagree and you hear each other out, and I love it.
Yeah,
like
and
that's the
that's
whole
like-
goal.
Yeah,
That's what you got to
That's
do.
society.
We
We're
just
all
want
so
things
different.
better.
All
Yeah.
of us.
So I think I don't know. Maybe Phil's got an idea to take over the world. I don't know. I would think that we
Yes.
want it better. So
I would love to take over the world and just give it back to the people.
there you go.
That's what's up.
So
Kings and queens, rule over yourselves. That's it.
there you go.
Perfect.
Damn.
Fun.
All right.
Hey, thanks, Sam. Appreciate you.
Thank
man.
you
Thanks for
guys.
Yeah,
having
this
on.
was
Are you
good.
playing today anywhere?
I'm not. I got the day off. I got
That's
canceled.
why he's here.
What?
He got canceled.
Yeah,
I got canceled.
I thought you were playing Laurentide today.
No, Laurentide was yesterday.
Then who's playing Laurentide today?
Somebody.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we will.
Oh.
Hey, shout outs to Burnt Rose, right?
Oh,
Burnt Rose.
They're
Great place.
doing live music now too.
Cool.
And I haven't been over there yet, and I really want to check
You
it
should
out.
check it
I
out.
think I
Great
want to
place.
stop by and get a salad today. So
Yeah.
yeah, their
So-
food is killer, man.
You
Yeah.
totally,
It
yeah.
won't be
They're open
disappointing.
5 to 10 Wednesday through Sunday.
They're doing this LA street corn.
Oh yeah.
I love LA street corn.
But it's off the cob.
Yeah.
It's off the cob.
There's no cob.
No,
It's
God,
cobless.
man. It's
Okay.
awesome.
It's cobless corn. They said it's like a lady's cut or something because in LA they cut it off the cob for ladies.
It's easier to eat
Careful.
that way.
But then it's got the jalapeno on it and the cilantro.
Be
and
careful what you say. Somebody's gonna get offended.
It's literally just
I like the
it's
cob.
some corn.
Okay, never mind.
yeah, but
Okay.
See ya. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Hey, before we get in trouble.
Oh God.